Vai'cairn walked steadily northward. The jungle was immensely humid, and drops of water dripped down from the canopy above, the remnants of the rains that had pelted the area the morning and previous evening. He had seen smoke rising up in this direction, and as usual, was curious. Sometimes I surprise even myself, Vai'cairn thought. I should be heading south, home, but I have to know what could be making such smoke right after so much rain. The answer came before long. He had moved some half-mile north from the giant tree and found himself on the edge of a tiny clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a hut, similar to the ones found in the other Archai villages, yet somewhat different. It was made out of lashed wood poles and brush, but wasn't raised off of the ground. The peculiar feature really was an earthen chimney attached to the side of the structure. The chimney stack rose above the hut's roof, and out of it trailed a small but steady column of smoke. As well, the hut was decorated with several strings of bones and shells. They gently swayed, making a soft clacking sound. A number of odd plants and herbs grew in the clearing, and the whole area smelled of the pungent smoke. Its smell was a mix between wood smoke, cooking meat, and bitter spice. Vai'cairn's nose didn't know whether to be offended or enticed. Vai'cairn took a step forward, fixated on the hut. He believed he heard movement from within. Suddenly, a parrot in a nearby tree began squawking and flapping its wings. It flew down to perch atop the roof of the hut and continued calling. The bird's shrill squawks were enough to unnerve Vai'cairn, and he pondered leaving. At that moment, a woman pulled the animal skin curtain aside and poked her head out.
"Rock, what is it?"
said the woman, just before she turned her gaze and spotted Vai'cairn.
"Oh, well."
She stepped just outside of her hut. Vai'cairn stood there for a moment, studying the woman as she studied him. She was Archai, but he wasn't sure of her tribe. In fact, he knew of no other Archai on the Island of Horns, except for his own people. He guessed she was at least a century old, maybe older. By the looks of her tattoos, he knew it was possible she could be a shaman, but he couldn't be certain.
"Who are you? What do you want?"
I am Vai'cairn Gaushi of the Vai'cairn.
An Vai'cairn. A worthless bunch they are.
You live alone in the jungle, tribeless, yet you speak ill of my tribe? The woman cracked a half smile on the side of her mouth.
Again, what do you want?
I am in my first proving test, replied Vai'cairn with confidence.
A hunter?
No, I'm a berserker. It is only through strength and cunning that I have survived these last few days. Vai'cairn gestured toward the fresh scars on his arms and legs, where the jaguar's teeth and claws had pierced him.
Oh, most impressive. You look very strong indeed. Though, cunning. Now that is something which few achieve. The ability to remain one step ahead of your adversaries, to adapt quickly despite the speed at which challenges present themselves. Do you really possess such cunning?
I have outsmarted or outmaneuvered many foes this very week. A lesser man would have died, no question.
Oh, believe me, I know all about that. But such talk bores me. You say you're on a proving test, yes?
That I am.
Well, maybe I can help you. Of course, you must prove your cunning to me, if you really possess it.
I still do not know who you are.
Ten'eyk Yuga.
Beware Ten'eyk Yuga,
squawked the parrot, as Ten'eyk again cracked a half smile. What trickery is this? Vai'cairn said, almost instinctively reaching for his long spear.
Now, do not worry, young Vai'cairn. What could a fierce berserker possibly have to fear?
Vai'cairn tried to thrust all nervous thoughts from his mind.
I am using words only. For now.
A one-year-old woman.
Of course.
Ten'eyk took a few steps forward, nearer to Vai'cairn, then spun around and took a step back away from him. She turned her head so that he could see her face only in profile, and spoke almost mockingly.
Cunning.
She cleared her throat.
Answer me this. I can grow up. I can grow down. I can be any size. I can be any color or shade. I am an old tree. I am a young growth. I can be the rarest prize or completely worthless and plain. Of what do I speak?